Today, I'm going to teach you how to read a crochet pattern step by step. I've been crocheting my whole life since I was little, and I learned how to crochet the old way by reading patterns out of magazines before the internet really took off and before there was YouTube. And now I'm a professional pattern designer and I write these all day long. Everything we don't know is a little bit challenging, but as soon as we learn it, it becomes easy. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now so you can level up your crochet abilities. We're going down to the materials list, and a good pattern will tell you, okay, you need this amount of yarn, you need these types of hooks, and you also need some extra supplies. And oh, by the way, here is the size of this hat. So here in my pattern, I'm telling you, whenever you practice the first few rounds of your hat, your work should measure X. Okay, so when you get a pattern, you should see the stitch abbreviations. This is the very first most important thing that you're going to need to know. You need to know what you need to know in order to do this pattern, and you have to know all this stuff. So if you don't know what a single crochet is or what a double crochet is, you need to learn that before you do this pattern. And you can learn that on YouTube. You can learn it from a stitch book that you have at home, or if you're taking local classes, you can bring that up to your teacher. So these are the things, and a good pattern will also have stitch explanations for you, so you don't have to go to all those other places. So this is something I include in all of my patterns. What's important to notice as well is your pattern written in US terms or UK terms? So this is something you're going to want to just check out if you're buying patterns online or in store, whatever. Just make a note of that because the terms do differ ever so slightly. Okay, so remember, the first step to being able to read a pattern is you have to know the basic stitches. Okay, so when you get to your pattern directions, um, there might be some notes at the very beginning before you get started, or maybe not. I typically put notes in the beginning of mine, like whether it's a start or hey, read this first. In this pattern, I said in the very beginning, make a magic ring. So when you're making circular things, you have to know how to start that off. So basically, you got to know how to make a magic ring. How do you make a magic ring? Well, in my patterns, I always have a video tutorial to show you how to do that. Otherwise, if you already know all this basic stuff, great. You make a magic ring. And then I said to CH2, which we know based on our abbreviation key means chain two. It means to make two chains from your hook. And then I said to secure it. So making my chain is what's going to secure my circle to stay in a circle. Okay, round one, I said 9 double crochet in the loop. So I have made this magic circle loop and I'm going to make 9 double crochet stitches. So 9 separate stitches inside my loop, and then slip stitch to the chain 2. So you're slipping in and out inside your chain 2, not at the top of the stitch, but inside the chain, and that closes and secures the hole. And then I said there's 10 stitches. So why are there 10 stitches if I only did 9 double crochet? Because the chain 2 must count as a stitch. And as you crochet, you'll start to learn this. A lot of times the chain 2 counts, but if it doesn't, the pattern writer should tell you at the very beginning, hey, the chain 2 does not count, or blah, blah, blah. They'll tell you that information at the beginning of their pattern. In my patterns, my chain 2s or chain 1s always count as a stitch because I feel like that hides things a lot better. Whenever scrolling down, whenever you see someone say DC in same space, we're not going to be saying out loud the abbreviations in our heads, right? We're going to say what it is. So I'm saying, if I read round 6, I'm saying chain 2 and double crochet in the same space. So in the space where my chain 2 is, I'm going to go in the same exact hole and make a double crochet. I'm not going to go and put the double crochet in the next chain over. That's what the same space is, the same space where you just did your chain. And coming over here where you see all these repeat rounds, so there is an abbreviation for repeat, which is rep. So that means repeat, and look, I put it in here, rep, 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 rep. So that just means repeat those rows to the T. If it's not exact, then I would not say repeat. Okay. Then towards the end, you get to it and it says cut and tie in ends. So this is another very basic thing you learn as a new crocheter. If you've taken a class, what does that mean to cut and tie in ends? I used to not know what that meant. You cut your yarn, but whenever you cut your yarn, you always have to leave a little bit of a tail so you have yarn to sew in with. So you're going to leave yourself a tail, maybe like this much, okay, the width of my hand, cut it with some scissors, and you're going to pull your yarn through, and then you're going to just take a tapestry needle and you're going to sew in your tail into your crochet work, going back and forth, up and down, different directions. Let's pull up another pattern example. All right, if you see round versus row on a pattern, so it says round one, then that means you're going to be working in a circle versus in straight back and forth rows. Now, that's the way it should be, but just keep in mind there's a lot of people who write patterns out there who are not professional and they are slipping up this type of stuff. You should also see a stitch count at the end of every row so you know you have to be counting your stitches. That's really important to get down as a beginner crocheter. You have to count. I have been crocheting my whole life and I still count every single row because I don't like to go back. Round one, chain two, that means make two chains. And if you have already been crocheting a little bit, that means you're going to be going up. Anytime you start out a round or start out a row, you have to arrive to the height of your new row. So you have to chain something at the end of the rows. Now, when I first started crocheting, I would make that mistake and I would forget to chain up. And then my work was curling and curving and it was ugly. Make a double crochet into the third back loop of the next space, not into the chain two space. So what I'm saying here is usually when you make a double crochet, you just go into a chain. You yarn over, you go in, you yarn over, you come out. But this time I'm saying you want to flip over your chain a little bit and go into the third back loop. This allows you to have a nice braid at the bottom of your work instead of just a flimsy chain. And I do that in a lot of my crochet patterns because it's just a small detail that makes it look really professional. So I'm saying not into the chain two space. So I'm not doing a double crochet in the same chain two space I just made. I'm going to go into my next space. So here's the key. You have to be able to recognize your spaces and your stitches. This is another big thing for beginner crocheters is recognizing things, counting and stuff like that. All right. Okay. Round two says chain two, make a front post double crochet around the chain two from the previous row. So whenever we do front post double crochets, those are always done from around the row below. So you're kind of like at this new row, but you got to be working underneath. And so what I mean is around the chain two from the previous row. So you're going to find your chain two from the row below and you're going to go around that to do your front post double crochet. Then one double crochet and one front post double crochet. Then there's an asterisk. So anything that you see in parentheses means you're going to be repeating it, and you have to repeat that until the end of whatever is going on there. So I said in each stitch around. Great. So that means we're doing 2 stitches in each stitch around. We're going to do one double crochet and a front post double crochet below that double crochet in every single stitch around, which means what? It means that your stitch count is going to be double. So instead of 24, now we're going to have 48. Let's go down a little bit further. Let's look at what I have to say on the brim. So I'm at the brim section and I said chain 7, single crochet in second chain from hook. So if you've started to crochet, you know that anytime you make a chain, you can't crochet in the first chain from your hook ever, okay? Unless you're slip stitching, but that's rare. So you're always going to skip that first chain or 2 chains depending on what kind of stitch you're making, and then you start crocheting along the chain. So that's what I'm saying is not into this first chain from your hook, but in the second one from the hook. So you count. There's the loop on your hook, then there's the chain, then there's the second chain from hook. Whenever you see a pattern say to join, They're basically saying you need to fold something together and you're going to sew it together with your tapestry needle. So in my pattern, I'm saying fold the two sides of the hat together and then slip stitch it together. So you're going to, in this case, I'm not cutting my yarn. I'm just going to take my hook and go in and out and slip stitch to kind of sew that together. And I didn't cut my yarn. So that means that this brim that I made is like one continuous piece of the hat. I'm not cutting and attaching anything. All you really got to do is take it step by step. If you get to a row and you don't remember an abbreviation, you just go back to the key. If you don't know a specific crochet method, then you go look up that method and learn it. And then the next time you work on a pattern, you're like, oh, yeah, I know how to do that. I remember doing that last time. And then slowly, slowly, you really start to gain a lot of things under your belt. And then you can read a whole pattern. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment with what you find most difficult about reading crochet patterns. Give this video a thumbs up if you've liked it and share it with a friend who's struggling to read patterns as well. Thanks, guys, for watching. Ciao.